Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about with respect to Joe Biden, okay? So Joe Biden is in Glasgow, in Scotland, at COP26, talking about all the things that world leaders could potentially do to solve the climate change problem, right? It's a big circle jerk. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's this giant circle jerk of like rich, powerful leaders talking about like, you know, well, how are we going to solve this problem? I don't know. It requires a lot of money, you know? Oh, yeah, well, yeah, we'll fix it. They're just passing the buck off to the next generation. Anyway.
This is actually where we're going to begin this morning because President Biden has arrived in Scotland hoping to restore America's credibility and leadership on tackling the problem. He left Rome this morning to attend the UN Climate Change Conference in Glasgow alongside leaders.
In Glasgow? What is Glasgow? It's Glasgow?
Of other countries that adopted the 2015 Paris Agreement. All of this comes after the president spent the weekend in Italy at the G20 summit. Weijia Jiang has been traveling with Mr. Biden, and she is in Edinburgh, Scotland for us this morning. Weijia, how are you?
Edinburgh, Scotland. It's Edinburgh.
I'm great, Tony, and I hope you guys are as well. President Biden put climate change at the front and center of his agenda on day one when he rejoined that Paris Agreement after his
sick. We're so fucked, dude. You guys, I'm sure many of you already saw this, but like what did they have? They had all the world leaders get together and like throw coins into a fucking fountain, right? To like make a wish to solve climate change. And it's like, dude, you guys are if you can't, like, that's what I would do. Okay. That's like when I was fucking 14 and I was like, oh man, like I wish I could lose weight. You know what I mean? Like you have the power. Functionally, we thought that you had the power. Why are you doing this? Why are you literally fucking throwing a penny in the fountain with high hopes? What's happening? If you are doing that, then I don't know what the fuck I mean, like, what are we doing? World leaders toss a coin at Trevor for good luck fighting the climate emergency. Like, who do they think? Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna do that? I thought it was you guys. I thought we throw the coins and then you guys act on that need, right? It's like beyond a demand at this point. Yeah, this is my leader. These are my leaders. We're going to die, bro. I mean, it's true, though. We're never solving climate change. We are never solving climate change. If, like, the world leaders are getting together to talk about how to solve the problems that come along with climate change, and, like, this is what they're doing, I mean, this is the best that they're doing. This is the most initiative I've seen from them so far. You know, that's what they're all there to come up with solutions. Yeah, it's not enough yet, but that's what they're there for. Yeah, 26 years, dude. This one will take. This year, they're still looking for solutions. I'm just looking for, dude, come on, bro. They're just like looking for solutions still. No, you know what they're looking for solutions for? First of all, let me just say something. One of the things that they're actually looking for a solution for is the inevitable mass migration that is going to happen as a consequence of the global south getting absolutely eviscerated by climate change. Okay, because here I'll use America as an example. When natural disasters occur on U.S. territories or on U.S. soil, if it's a place like Puerto Rico that already is like in debt, that already has like crippling or crumbled infrastructure, when an insane fucking erratic weather condition that is extreme and like normally once in a lifetime, doesn't really happen all that often, hits Puerto Rico, then there is no way to solve that problem. Like, we just will never be able to fully fix Puerto Rico, right? It's just too fucking expensive, right? If it hits the mainland, depending on where it's hitting, you can kind of patch it up, but the poor people suffer in that situation. Now expand upon that, because that's a microcosm of the problem, and then expand upon that and think about it from a global perspective. When that shit hits like Haiti's fucked. Okay, what are the Haitian people going to do? Well, they're going to want to come to America. So that's the real problem for a lot of these world leaders. When they go to these sorts of conferences, they're like, yeah, what the fuck are we going to do about these like fucking migrants that are coming in? You know what I mean? That's the real inevitable disaster from climate change, not necessarily like actual solutions. And they're not going to come up with actual solutions, because the actual solutions, and conservatives are kind of right on this, the actual solutions come from eliminating the profit motive and drastically reconsidering the way that we look at commodity production and the way that we look at energy production. Like, there's no other way to do it, whether it be like just straight up government regulation or full-blown undermining capitalism. A little bit of undermining capitalism is a necessity. And considering the reality that all of these people are still bought and sold by the same corporate benefactors, that's the reason why the best they can do is toss a coin to the Witcher, okay, in the fountain, and hope that one day magically we will eradicate the problems. That's it.
They know me, I know them. We can get things done together. President Biden argued his personal relationships with other world leaders allowed them to make tangible progress at the G20 summit in Rome.
We passed a number of things here to end the subsidization of coal. We made commitments here from across the board, all of us, in terms of what we're going to bring to the G26.
But he said when it comes to climate change, the focus should be on what countries like Russia, China, and Saudi Arabia are not doing.
Not only Russia, but China basically didn't show up in terms of any commitments to deal with climate change.
The leaders who
Wait, am I crazy? I feel like as far as like a recently developing nation goes, am I wrong I thought that China was doing fairly well with respect to tackling climate change, developing papilla. I mean, obviously like India and China, maybe not Russia, but and Saudi Arabia, but like China is a world leader in renewable energy installation by volume. Yeah, I mean, they're also a gigantic country that is like having its industrial revolution in front of our fucking eyes. So, you know, they didn't have 400 fucking years of, you know, sucking on the teat of natural resources of the third world in the same way that like Western capitalist nations were able to industrialize over the course of like many fucking centuries. But even then, with respect to like how quickly they blew the fuck up, like criticizing China from that point of view by just looking at the totality of their coal consumption is, I don't know. Maybe they're doing it secretly though. So maybe I'm wrong. Even with Russia. I mean, I remember reading reports about both Russia and China, but especially China, taking a lot of efforts to greatly increase their renewable energy production, even like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Regardless, though, of course, China and India and other countries that are still at the precipice of like their own industrial revolution, or still at the tail end of their own industrial revolution, are greatly going to increase their, you know, their need for coal. That's what happens when you fucking have. That's what happens when you become a wealthy nation. That's what happens when your nation and the material conditions of your nation improve. It's just the unfortunate reality. He meant China didn't go to the event. That's it. Yo, President Xi Jinping, you didn't throw a coin in the pool. And let me tell you something. I don't like that. You needed to toss a coin in the pool, Mr. Jinping. That's right. Xi,
who attended the summit, pledged to work to limit global warming, but offered few firm commitments. Secretary of State Antony Blinken insisted the talks were a launching point for future work.
This is not tomorrow's problem. This is today's problem.
President Biden also faced questions about his political standing back home. A new poll shows his approval rating has declined by 7 points since August, and 71% of Americans say
this is the cumulative CO2 emissions. Wait, cumulative? Of course, cumulative. The United States is gonna fucking blow everybody out of the water. If you look at cumulative CO2 emissions, obviously, like, yeah, no shit. The United States has been an industrialized nation for a lot longer than fucking China has, dude. That's ridiculous. But if you're looking at like currently what their output looks like, or what their cumulative, or not cumulative, but like what their CO2 emissions look like per capita. Lifetime CO2 is high, so all the US is still up there. That's why it's relevant. Yeah, of course. I mean, I already covered that part, though. Obviously, the United States is going to fucking literally be the largest source of fossil fuel, cement, and cumulative CO2 emissions. Like, that's ridiculous. But I think that CO2 emissions per capita, America still beats China. Again, for understandable reasons. China is fucking massive, and there's still like rural areas in China where fucking millions of people live. And obviously, it's not as well developed as the damn near entirety of the United States. CO2 emissions per capita, if you look at it per ton, obviously China emits the most, right? In 2016, China emitted the most. Well, if you look at per capita, on the other hand, though, obviously, you know, China is not going to be as high as the United States of America, considering the reality that the United States is more developed. This is how it works. Currently, China outputs 2 times as much, but half as much per capita as the US. The US is 2 times X historically, which matters because it's all still in the atmosphere. India, nowhere near any of us. 1/8 as much as US per capita. Yes, it is about developing these countries. The more developed countries become, the more they fucking emit CO2. That's just how it works. Wealthy nations lead the per capita emissions. Yeah, US, Canada, Australia, South Korea, Japan, Germany, Russia, Iran, UK, Poland, Italy, Malaysia. What the fuck, Malaysia? You're totally missing the point. The issue is that China and India don't need to deploy these types of assets anymore, as renewable plus natural gas is enough to support their industrialization. Yeah, is that why the United States is not doing it then? The fuck kind of take is that? Fossil fuel is still the most efficient energy. Like, that's just the reality. It's still the most bang for your buck. No, it's not. Wait, oh, we got fucking, I mean, it is the cheapest. It's like not true anymore. Renewable energy is quite competitive with fossil fuels. Cost effective, not efficient. Okay, coal is still cheaper, or fossil fuels in general, not just coal, but fossil fuels in general, in comparison to renewable energies, it's still overall cheaper and more efficient. There's a reason why people still want to use it. Anyway, without getting into the additional details about nuclear, you want to know why France is so low relative to other... I know France is lower than all these other wealthy nations because they have nuclear power. I know. I got it. I love nukes, okay? Nuke me up, daddy, okay? I want to fucking... I literally want to live in a pool of, like, radiated water to end this argument. Rather than debating the safety of nuclear waste and storage of nuclear waste, or like how, you know, there's actually going to be technology in the future where like nuclear waste can be reconsidered and reused, so it doesn't even matter, blah blah blah, and we're not just like putting it under we're not putting it underground somewhere. I know, I got it. You're right, I'm sorry. At the very least, modern economies should be subsidizing transition to renewables in developing countries if we don't want developing countries to use a fair share of the global carbon budget. I agree. I mean, that's one of the things that they're supposed to be talking about here, aren't they? 45% of Americans don't believe human-caused climate change. Oh, nice. That number has grown. Like one of the latest, the most common study referred to said that 33% of Americans didn't believe in anthropogenic climate change. And now that number has grown to 45. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck it. Yeah, who cares? It's over. Nice. Nearly half of Americans don't believe global warming is human-caused. That's so stupid, dude. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's great. That's great. That's what happens when you have, you know, powerful interests. Not only lobby the government, but also literally fund think tanks to pump out this kind of material. There's a reason why the Koch brothers and their subsidiary corporations and their think tanks, the institutes they fund almost completely, turn around and, fund even people like Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson, because they recognize the importance of propaganda. They recognize that if you can feed the climate pill to everyone, no matter how fucking innocuous it seems, okay, ultimately, you will be able to change a fuckload of people's minds. Do you have any evidence against it? Do I have any evidence against anthropogenic climate change? Or do I have any evidence to support that anthropogenic climate change is real? Because I would go so far as to say, what is it, like 97% or 99% scientific consensus on this issue? But I guess like all of them are in the New World Order and they're Chi-Com, Chinese socialists. And that's why all scientists are lying, probably, including the scientists that were hired by Exxon that recognized anthropogenic climate change all the way back in 1985 and then chose to hide it and instead immediately rushed to create one of the most nefarious propaganda machines that has led to 45% of Americans straight up just denying something that 99% of scientists have been talking about. So yeah, the consensus taken in 2021 says is greater than 99% consensus on human-caused climate change and peer-reviewed scientifically. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. You can make motherfuckers believe in anything, dude. As long as there is enough money to be made off of making people believe in shit and obviously like deny what is happening in front of their eyes, then yeah. As the leaders of the world flip a coin to decide our future, scientists give humanity a grave warning. The world scientists show that without immediate goal, or immediate total system change, the activities of the global growth economy will lead us to mass death and extinctions by around 2045. Yeah, no, that seems chill. Meanwhile, we're like sitting around debating whether or not we can, we're not even putting like cap and trade in a fucking bill or anything like that, which Joe Manchin once famously shot with a sniper rifle. Have you guys ever seen that? This fucking dipshit back in 2015, I believe.
I'm Joe Manchin. I approve this act because I'll always defend West Virginia.
As your senator, I'll protect our Second Amendment rights. That's why the NRA endorsed me. I'll take on Washington and this administration to get the federal government off of our backs and out of our pockets. I'll cut federal spending, and I'll repeal the bad parts of Obamacare.
30% of West Virginians rely on, some form of social spending. Or more than that, just 30% are on welfare, though.
I sued EPA, and I'll take dead aim at the cap and trade bill.
Fuck yeah, dude. He's gonna kill the cap and trade bill, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go, dude. The key is to take as much loans and line of credit possible, hoping the world ends before you have to pay them. Are you literally, you're describing buy, borrow, die. That's literally what Jeff Bezos is doing. Except, of course, he has infinite leverage. You have none, but that's the main difference. You are describing how Elon Musk survives and how Jeffrey Jebediah Bezos survives. I've proved that climate change doesn't exist right here. Oh, this is a wonderful video.
Of national attention, and in case we have forgotten, because we keep hearing that 2014 has been the warmest year on record, I asked the chair, you know what this is? It's a snowball, and that's just from outside here. So it's very, very cold out, very unseasonal. So here, Mr. President, catch this.
That's right. Get fucked. Get fucked, idiots. Global warming? That's a snowball. It fucking snows still. So where's the global warming? Dude, it's so awesome. Fuck it, dude. At some point, you just gotta be like, this is hilarious and just enjoy, you know? Yeah, go along with the ride and just fucking enjoy how idiotic people are. Because, you know, there's no other way to like consume this sort of information and like not feel fucking terrible about it. You know what I mean?